Welcome to our 36th year and the Osher at JHU Fall Preview. I'm Susan Howard, the Program Director. In the fall, we have many good things in store for you in person and virtually. As usual, this preview will give you an idea of what you'll experience. And in a moment, Administrative Supervisor Kathy Cook will explain what you're going to see in this particular event. We've included information about our in-person locations, an abundant schedule of classes, and an incredible lineup of faculty members. If you've taken Osher at JHU classes before, then you know our reputation precedes us when it comes to high quality, lifelong learning and the ongoing pursuit of knowledge. If you still have questions following the preview or for additional information, please visit our website where you'll find our membership options, new interactive schedule, and special event information. Enjoy the preview, and we look forward to seeing you in person or virtually this fall.
As Susan mentioned, I'm Kathy Cook, Administrative Supervisor for Osher at JHU. Today's preview video is about 45 minutes in length and introduces our amazing fall faculty and their classes. The fall schedule is arranged by day of the week, Monday through Thursday, and shows classes in person at several locations in Baltimore, Columbia, and Montgomery County. Each day lists the classes available at all the locations and classes available online via Zoom. Please visit the Osher at JHU website for a list of membership options and a new interactive grid similar to the one on screen now. The schedule online will list all the weekly classes, but for our demonstration today, we'll show you a brief example. Simply click on the course title and the instructor's course video will play, providing details about his or her class.
My name is Gideon Amir, and I'm going to teach a class both in Columbia and in Montgomery County on the book of Jubilees.
This new grid allows you to view the classes you are most interested in as often as possible as you make your course selections. Today's preview video and the website's interactive grid are made possible by one of Osher's well-known and beloved instructors, Mr. Stan Levin. We are very grateful for Stan's creativity and dedication and his many contributions to showcasing our fall semester. Thank you also to all of the faculty who will be teaching this fall. For questions and assistance with registration, please visit our website at osher.jhu.edu. See our contact page for phone numbers of the Osher staff. Thank you, and now on to our faculty.
My name is Gideon Amir, and I'm going to teach a class on the book of Jubilees. The book of Jubilees was written sometimes in the 2nd century before the Common Era, and it describes basically describing the stories that we read in the books of Genesis and the beginning of the book of Exodus, but from a different point of view.
In this course, we will explore the basics of anthropological thought, including how an anthropologist researches the world around us. We will compare and contrast what it means to be family and married in various cultures. We'll dive into language and how it changes over time and influences everything that we see or read. Intrigued by the LGBTQ culture or confused by the terminology? Come with me to explore where and when race first became socially important and how it plays out in today's world.
Hi, everyone. You have Mike Rosigliano here, otherwise known as Rosig, and I'm a cartoonist. We're doing a class called Cartoons and Why We Love Them. It's kind of a cartoon appreciation class. I hope you'll come and join me in this class. We do a little drawing in the class too. So not a lot, just kind of on a fun level. All right, see you, bye.
Hello, everyone. My name is Saul Lilienstein, and there's a subject I've never taught before. It's called the Romantic Symphony. As opposed to a classical symphony, it means something is going on beyond just the creation of musical structure. We'll cover the entire gamut: Beethoven, Schubert, Schumann, Mendelssohn, Brahms, Dvorak, Tchaikovsky, Mahler.
Hi, I'm Robert Barshay. I'll be teaching a course on John Cheever's short stories in the fall semester at Ingleside. I'm looking forward to it very much, and it will give us an insight into a New England white Anglo-Saxon Protestant culture that you may not have had. And I hope you enjoy martinis, because there'll be martinis served in every short story, knowing John Cheever.
Hi, my name is Lana Portolano. We'll read some great poems in class, and we will look at different ways of approaching them through sound, through imagery, through symbolism, through context. We'll look at poetry as a window to history, and we will talk about poetry and as an answer to current events or signs of the times, a way to speak out.
Hello, fellow Osherites. Roland Fraser here. I've been renewed for another semester. Louis Hine, the pioneering photojournalist, is quoted as saying, "If I could tell the story in words, I wouldn't need to lug around a camera." We will explore the great photojournalists and documentarians and how they have shaped our view of the world. As in my previous classes, we will look at lots of photos, some well-known and some not so well-known, and the stories that they tell.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rich Barrett. This fall, I am offering a course on consciousness. So what is consciousness? It is our ability to examine our own existence, our thoughts, and the reasons that we do things. It is our inner life, the ability to imagine and daydream.
Hi, my name is Kim O'Connell, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my fall class for Osher. It's called Catching Two Fish with Two Hands, the Vietnamese Refugee Experience in America. It's hard to believe that it was almost 50 years ago when Saigon fell at the end of the Vietnam War. We'll talk some about what's current events and current war situations and refugee situations in the context of what we learned from the end of the Vietnam War.
Hi, my name is Melissa Hilbish, and I'm teaching a course on Neo-Noir Films titled, "Aren't You the Good Man? Exploring Neo-Noir." We will begin with a classic of Neo-Noir, Chinatown, and then we'll move to an interesting fusion of Neo-Noir style and storytelling with science fiction in the original 1982 Blade Runner. The class will then finish with an homage to classic noir found in 1997's LA Confidential.
Hi, I'm John Spears, and I will be teaching an updated version of my Quick History of Humans course, 70,000 years ago to the present. We'll hit the highlights with everything, evocative illustrations and quotes whenever possible. Hopefully, the course will help us all better embrace the global perspective we get from the news every day. Come along with us on this wild ride. I think it'll be fun.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. My name is Mary Dutterer, and I'm going to be teaching a class this fall on Christopher Guest and the mockumentary, starting with things like Spinal Tap and going through his filmography. So what we're going to basically do is talk a little bit about the mockumentary, the history behind it. We're going to focus on Christopher Guest and his main works, and then we're going to look at how his works have influenced current day mockumentaries.
Hello, dear friends. My name is Vladimir Friedman. The whole name of the course will be Melodies Close to our hearts. So I'm gonna see you there, guys, and we're gonna go together through my favorite melodies from all over the world. And I hope my favorite music from classical department, from Jewish department of music, from Latin American, it will appear also yours favorite music.
My name is Stan Levin, and in the fall, I will be teaching a course entitled New Faces, New Voices, 21st Century American Cinema. We will study the new writers, actors, directors, and composers whose work first appears in the new millennium. There's no required reading, but I will be showing film clips and deconstructing them, highlighting the new aesthetics. My goal is to share with you my excitement over the talent and the stories in 21st century American cinema. I look forward to seeing you in the fall. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. This is Ernest Liotti, and I will be teaching a class on great horror classics. We're not going to discuss slasher films or anything of that nature, but we will cover some of the great classics, including Bela Lugosi's Dracula, Boris Karloff's Frankenstein, actually the 3 Frankenstein films he made as the monster, Lon Chaney's Phantom of the Opera, The Mummy, and films like The Wolfman, maybe get up to Hitchcock's Psycho.
Hi, I'm Iris Lipkowitz. I'll be teaching a course in ballet history and appreciation called The British 20th Century Narrative Tradition. Join me in this class and watch ballets, learn about Frederick Ashton, Kenneth Macmillan, and Anthony Tudor. What influenced them? What is special about their choreography and the dancers with whom they worked? I hope to see you.
Hi, my name is Chris Stevenson, and I will be offering our stories exploring memoir writing in the fall. Everyone has a story. Sometimes we tell it after, hey, how are you? Or when we say, you would not believe what happened. In this workshop, we'll talk about exploring the many ways to get you a story by reading the experts and ultimately reading ourselves. You have a story, and the whole world wants to hear it. And you have a chance to tell it this fall.
Hi, baseball fans. This is Phil Hochberg, and I'm looking forward to reinstituting the baseball course in the fall. We'll be looking at baseball 2022, just as the postseason winds down. One change that I'm looking forward to is bringing in guest speakers via Zoom, which will allow us to gather in person. We can gather in person, while at the same time getting access to the speakers without their having to devote a full afternoon.
Hi, I'm Ron Edelstein. Next semester, I will be teaching energy and climate change. We'll focus specifically on what is happening with the world oil, natural gas, and coal markets as a result of the Russian invasion of the Ukraine, and how that is coming in conflict instead of helping deal with climate change.
Greetings, my fabulous Osher students. Today we have the pleasure of talking about music and nationalism and revolutions, music revolutions and nationalism. What an interesting topic for a course. Revolutions are fascinating to talk about, and the music they produce is interesting, but not always spectacular. The music of nationalism is almost always spectacular. England is my favorite country in this regard because they produced a musical revolution without having to have an actual revolution. It's always good to have somebody do the revolution for you.
Hi there. My name is Marilyn Millstone. I'm offering a new course at Osher that I call The Rise of the Female American Playwright. So I'll need you to buy the books. You can find them used on Amazon if you wish. Read the plays before class and come to the class ready and eager to read aloud and discuss. Thank you so much. I invite you to sign up and be part of my Theater Lovers Circle.
Hello, my name is Kristen McKnight Sethi, and I will be teaching a course on narrativity in South Asian art. And really what we'll be looking at is introducing art from this region, but thinking about it through the lens of narrativities. And I'm showing you an image here of carved stories. We'll look at textiles and how artists embroider stories onto cloth. And we'll even look at performance traditions like shadow puppet theater.
My name is Roger Brunyate, and my fall course, National Identity in the Arts, will examine what makes a piece of art or music belong to one country rather than another. The Alps create a major barrier across Europe. They're not impassable, but enough so that the arts at the start of the Renaissance developed quite differently in the north and in the south. I look forward to seeing you, hopefully in person.
Hey, hello, everybody. This is George Scheper, and I am here to talk to you about a class I'm going to be teaching for Osher in the fall. This is going to be a cultural history of New York City, part 1. And in all of these classes, I'm going to be using a lot of, it's all going to be an illustrated history, lots of slide images, lots of film clips, soundtracks, and it's going to be a real adventure. And I'm looking forward to it. So that is my little epilogue, and look forward to seeing you in the fall.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Pete Kakel, and I'm very excited about my fall course, Hitler's American Models, What the United States Taught the Nazis. As historians are beginning to show, Adolf Hitler and other Nazis often drew on American precedents for inspiration and ideas to guide their thinking and their policy decisions. This course is going to focus on recent research that addresses a number of disturbing questions.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Hessler. My class, called Reading Ulysses, is really fairly self-explanatory. We're going to go through the book over 6 weeks. And you might ask what's important about the book. Why read it now, besides the fact that it's the 100th anniversary? Well, it's one of the canons, obviously, of great literature in the world. But more than that, James Joyce did something that no other author has really ever done. He's tried to place us in the mind of someone else. And in doing that, there's a certain type of empathy that grows in you for the character.
Hi, my name is Daniel McClurkin, and I'm a PhD candidate in the English department at Johns Hopkins University, offering a course entitled 6 Irish Plays, starting with George Bernard Shaw's John Bull's Other Island, and finishing with Frank McGuinness's Observe the Sons of Ulster Marching Towards the Somme. This course will be a survey of these plays, and we'll think about playwriting and sort of the cultural production of these plays, the sort of production of them literally as plays, and then the ways in which they came out of their particular historical moment.
Hi, I'm Don Ross, and I'm here to talk about Immanuel Kant, whom I'm going to be teaching in the fall. Kant was born in 1724, and he died in 1804, so at the age of 80. And he published, finally, his first great work, which is right up here, The Critique of Pure Reason, in 1781. Now, he was born in 1724, so he's 57. So I hope to see you in the fall.
Hello, I'm Jim Blue. This semester we will enjoy 2 of Shakespeare's romantic comedies, As You Like It and Twelfth Night. This is a discussion class, not a lecture class, so it's not me talking for 2 hours. The way the class runs is we read part of a scene out loud. We discuss what we've read. I show video clips from 2 or 3 filmed versions, and then we discuss how different actors and different directors interpreted that scene.
This is Bob Hines. The name of the class is the Origins course of the Holocaust. The term anti-Semitism didn't emerge until 1879 in Germany, and how this morphed into the desire to eliminate it completely from society, we have to examine in detail the time period. So what it involved was many, many perpetrators of all shapes and sizes. So we'll be looking at those aspects.
Well, listen, Washington needs to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. Any only approach, meaning any approach that is sanctions only or diplomacy only or military only, is bound to fail. I think that the time-tested challenge here of the nuclear problem, the regional security threat, the domestic threat, all of the various facets of the Iranian threat that the world has been dealing with for the past 4 decades that emanate from the Islamic Republic require creativity.
Hello, this is George Scheper, and I'm here to tell you about a class I'll be teaching in the fall semester for Osher, and it's the Cultural History of New York City, Part 2. And this is basically going to be about 20th century New York. And like the first semester, will be, again, an illustrated history, lots of slide images, artworks, use of music, film clips, and as much discussion as we want to get into. So I look forward to seeing you next fall.
Hi, this is Bill Florman. I will be teaching a course in Baltimore in the fall called The Genius of Charlie Chaplin. We will be discussing his life, in addition to viewing all of his major films. I think that it'll be an exciting experience for you. So I hope to see many of you in the fall.
Hello, my name is Mary Kinnecome. I'm excited to be teaching the course Early Modernism in the Western World this fall. For the course, we're going to start by studying the traditional work created up until about the 1800s in the Western world. And then we're going to investigate the artists who began to defy tradition and convention, and also defy the institutions and the structures that were insisting upon conventional art.
Hi, my name is Martin McCulloch, and this fall I'll be teaching a course called Classics and the Force of English Poetry. In this class, we look at three major Roman poets, Catullus, Horace, and Virgil, and we use them as launch pads to explore not just their original poetry in translation, but also the ways that subsequent English language poets have used these three Roman poets.
Hello, I'm Dan Sherman. I'm going to be teaching a course called Geniuses of American Musical Theater. Each session is going to cover a different composer or composer lyricist team. And by going through these, I think you'll get a good sense of American musicals, both stage and then also as they move to the movies. So we're going to be covering about 100 years of theater, film history, and through, if you will, the lens of these individuals.
Good evening. My name is Don Bliss, and I'm offering a course on Mark Twain on Our Fragile Democracy. It's going to be fun, and it's based on a book that is coming out in the next couple of weeks that I've just written called Mark Twain's 10 Lessons for a Healthy Democracy. So I hope you'll join us, and I look forward to meeting some of you and engaging in a very fruitful discussion about some of the issues, both 100 years ago and today, that we need to address in a serious fashion if we're going to preserve this republic.
Hello. I'm Jim Applebaum. I'm the moderator of the long-standing essays discussion group at Osher. This is not a writing class. It's an analysis class. It's a discussion class. And it has always been marked by a great degree of conviviality. Sometimes it reminds me of being at a very, very interesting new book presentation or an art gallery opening.
Hi, everybody. Steve Friedman. I just wanted to say hello. Looking forward to fall and the great classes we're going to have together. The first class is Minorities, Class Issues, Sex in the Broadway Musical. How have these groups and topics been presented in a way that we either can feel good about or be embarrassed about by today's standards? It'll be fun to explore some of the great classics and see how some of the minorities have been impacted by political issues and storytelling in the Broadway musical. And it's going to be great to sort through that and maybe even feel a little embarrassed at some of the things we used to enjoy.
I'm Melinda Kramer, in case you haven't been with me in class before, and I hope that you will be in class with me in the fall. This time I want to take a look at the buddies in these detective novels. You may remember that Watson and Sherlock Holmes were buddies and kind of the classic duo of detective fiction. We're going to look at the relationships between the head detective and his or her buddy who helps solve the crimes.
Hello, I'm Dr. Chris Obermaldarelli, and I will be teaching a 6-week course this fall titled Advances in Biotechnology and Medicine. The course this fall will cover 5 areas of biotech. The first 3 weeks of the course will be geared towards personal health. The second half of the course will be less personal and more general biotech topics will be covered. The course will be a mixture of lectures and discussion, and I'll provide some background reading for each week. I look forward to meeting with you in the fall.
Hello, I'm Ralph Buglis, and I invite you to join me as we go off the beaten path. This will be a virtual trip through lots of photographs to lesser known spots of interest all around the county that most of us call home. These include noteworthy places of historical interest, natural beauty, or remarkable in other ways, perhaps superlative as the oldest or biggest of their kind, or maybe even downright weird.
Hi, everybody. It's Dr. J. Riddler here. Want to tell you about Mavericks of War, which is coming to Osher this fall 2022. It's a class designed to teach you about the outsiders and eccentrics and unconventional minds of military affairs and how they shaped major events like World War I, the Vietnam War, and specific theaters of World War II. We have Brits, we have Americans. I tried to get a Canadian, they didn't fit. Mavericks of War this fall, coming at you from Osher. Hope to see you there.
Hi, I'm Steve Friedman, and I'm going to be doing a class by Zoom. We're going to look at some of the classic musicals, some of the most successful musicals ever written, and understand why they became the classic musicals that they did become. We're going to take them apart, look at them in terms of the components that built these masterpieces, and maybe for fun, we'll take 1 or 2 apart that didn't work and look at why those could not succeed the way the masters have.
Hi, my name is Bill Florman, and I'm going to be teaching a course entitled The Decalogue of Krzysztof Kieslowski. He embarked on a project called the Decalogue, which was 10 interrelated segments, 1 hour in length, based on the 10 Commandments. It follows the 10 Commandments about as loosely as most people follow the 10 Commandments.
My name is Ahmed Ashrati. I invite you to come and participate in a class on an important topic, the Quran and modern society. The class is meant to give us the basic idea of the Quran as a text, how it became to be as such, the historical and cultural background of this genesis of the Quran as a scripture.
My name is Bill Aiken, and I'm teaching the course this fall called Mindfulness and Beyond. I'll introduce you to some basic Buddhist teachings on the stages of life. We'll get to know some of its leading teachers, both ancient and modern, and we'll even try our hand at a couple of meditation techniques, though this will not be a meditation class. And I hope to cap this off with a field trip to the Thai Buddhist monastery in our region, where we can meet with monks and witness some of their practices firsthand.
My name is Steve Wormeal, and I'm going to be teaching a course called Supreme Court Change, Constitutional Change. We're going to be looking at how the increasingly conservative majority of the court is going to be is already rethinking constitutional issues and what kind of changes that's likely to bring about for rights that we've known and enjoyed for a long time.
My name is Carl Hampman, and I'm going to be teaching a course that I call Gender, Ethnicity, and Sexuality in American Film on the screen and behind the camera. But I'll be looking at 4 groups and how they're portrayed in the American film industry, going back to the early days of Hollywood up to the present time. Women in American film, Latino Americans, LGBTQ Americans, and Italian Americans in this course.
Hi, my name is Naomi Darrenblom. My class next fall of 2022, is called The End of Democracy, ? We ask a very simple question. Is democracy in the world in trouble? And if we were to try and figure this out, how would we define that? How would we address it? We will look at countries in Europe, in Latin America, in the Middle East, countries that have had advances in democracy and all of a sudden look like they're going back in time.
Hi, I'm Ron Edelstein. Next semester, I will be teaching energy and climate change. We'll focus specifically on what is happening with the world oil, natural gas, and coal markets as a result of the Russian invasion of the Ukraine, and how that is coming in conflict instead of helping deal with climate change.
Hello, I'm Mel Goodman, and for the past 25 years or so, I've been teaching a course in international relations at Hopkins Osher, and I'll be teaching that course again this September. And of course, the course will emphasize the consequences of the war in Ukraine. I don't expect the war to be over. We're talking about the possibility of a long war with tremendous Ukrainian resistance. And the consequences are going to be international in their impact.
Hi, I'm Nora Hammerman, and I'm offering a course at Osher this fall on French painting. We're going to take a period of time which starts when France becomes a nation under Louis XI, the Spider King, in the middle of the 15th century, and go down to the unfortunate Louis XVI, who was beheaded in 1792 or 1793, thereabouts. So over 4 centuries in which France produced some of the greatest artists that have ever lived.
Hi, I'm Laura Donnelly, and I'm going to be teaching Art Deco and the making of the modern world this fall semester. In this course, we're going to study the history of Art Deco, its master designers and artists, and the items they produced. In addition to looking at things like Rockefeller Center and jewelry houses like Cartier, this course will explore the entirety of the Art Deco arena.
Hi, I'm Eric Gartman, and I will be teaching Russia and Ukraine, 1,000 years of joint history. We'll try and understand why Russia has always sought to expand its territory since the days of Ivan the Terrible. We'll explore Russia's failed attempts at democratic and economic reforms over the years. We will conclude with the factors that led to the current war in Ukraine. So join me in seeking the answers to all these questions this fall.
I'm Sheldon Greenberg. We're going to be in a course called Policing in the 21st Century. We're going to talk about a lot of things that you know. We're going to talk about the basics, the traditions, the innovations, the successes, and even the mistakes and failures. We'll talk about mass casualty events. But we'll focus mostly on what you want to know. That's the most important part of the class. What you think as a group, what you think as individuals. If you want to spend time on one issue more than others, we'll do it.
Hi, my name is Patrick Crossland, and I'm very happy to have the opportunity to teach a course on the Beatles again this fall. I sincerely hope that you'll join me and share your experiences with this timeless music and learn a few things about the history and cultural significance of John, Paul, George, and Ringo along the way. The expectation for you is just that you come to class having listened to the music, no outside reading. I'll be lecturing and we'll be discussing their music, and that's really it. So I hope you can join me. Thanks a lot.
Hi, I'm Joan Adams, and the title of our course is A Reckless Decade Ends the Century. And please consider joining with us as we explore the events and the people that thrust the United States into becoming a global and political power. Immigration was accelerating, the frontier was closing, and we're going to be taking a look at the people, the culture, and the politics.
I'm Steve Block. I teach case studies in ethics. In analyzing our cases, we shall seek to make explicit the values that underpin our ethical judgments. We shall spend as much or as little time on a case as there is member interest. Participants will set the pace with their analysis and questions.
Hi, I'm Marna Williams, and I'll be teaching a course called Understanding the Immune Response to Coronavirus and the COVID-19 Vaccines. This pandemic has really been challenging for all of us, but it's also brought some opportunities because there's been an unprecedented global sharing of information. But sometimes it can be difficult to understand the science, particularly when there are conflicting reports in the media.
I'm Eric McWilliams, instructor for Wednesday's Great Books class. But a decade or so ago, we began to focus completely upon short stories. We'll do that again in the fall. We'll be using the Scribner anthology of contemporary short works, 50 North American stories published since 1970. I'll lead the discussions for the first couple of weeks, after which they're frequently led by volunteers from the class.
I'm Eleanor Clift. I'm a longtime political reporter and columnist here in Washington, D.C., and I will be teaching a course for Osher this fall called Heartache or Relief. It's an appropriate title because we begin the meetings shortly before the midterm elections in November. And we'll be watching how the candidates and the parties position themselves for what both sides will say is the most critical midterm election perhaps ever.
My name is Caroline Goodwin, and I'll be teaching a class this fall called Like Shining from Shook Foil, 6 Poets of Spiritual Connection. We'll be looking at the work of Gerard Manley Hopkins, Emily Dickinson, Dylan Thomas, Lucille Clifton, Adrienne Rich, and John Ashbery. Each week, we'll have a reading package that is made up of a variety of poems from throughout the writing life of each poet. And we'll take the time to respond with our own creative writing.
Hi, I'm Barry Schoenfeld, and I am delighted to be teaching the course called The Olmecs, the Mayas, and the Aztec in this upcoming session at Johns Hopkins. Why should you take this course? Well, it's really very simple. Most people have no concept of just what a great civilization all 3 of these and several others were, going back to 3000 BC, when London, Paris, and Rome were nothing. These civilizations were thriving.
Yes, hello. My name is Dr. Bob Baer, and I'm going to be teaching the class this fall at Osher called Pioneers of Women's Rights in America. So some of the women that we'll be looking at are women like Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, Lucy Stone, some African-American women like Harriet Tubman, Ida B. Wells, Sojourner Truth, many of the most important women reformers during the 19th century. So I hope you'll be able to join me this fall for this class. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Robert Jacobs, and this fall I will be teaching a course on Southern Gothic literature. So we'll be reading a few novels and a number of short stories. So we'll be looking at William Faulkner, Flannery O'Connor, Zuriel Hurston, Richard Wright, and some other writers from this genre. And so I offer an open invitation to you, if this sounds interesting, to join us for this class. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Jim O'Leary, and I'm doing a course this fall that's called Earth as Art. And we will examine all of this in the course, hundreds of striking Earth images, many that actually resemble works of art. And we'll see our home planet as astronauts do. We'll also discover how Earth appears looking back across space and compare the beauty of our world to that of other worlds in the solar system. So I hope you'll join me in this course called Earth as Art.
A composer takes a work in prose and turns it into an opera. My name is Roger Brunyate, and my fall course, Novel into Opera, will look at some of the ways in which this might be done. How does a librettist structure a scenario to play to opera's strengths and minimize the weaknesses? Mainly we look at works such as the 5 shown here. If you've read the book, so much the better, but I'll give you all you need to know via handouts or in class.
Hi, I'm Sylvie Vitaglione, and this fall I'll be teaching History of Music Videos. In this class, we'll be tracing the history of music videos from the 1980s roughly to today. And we'll discover what a music video is in format, in content, in the way that it is watched or maybe not watched. We'll discuss the technological evolution from its emergence on television screens to its migration on computer screens and platforms such as YouTube and Vimeo.
Hi, everybody. This is Ernest Liotti, and I will be teaching great comedy classics. And I think we're all in a state now where we could all use a good laugh. And we'll cover some great classics, Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin. We'll do the screwball comedies. We'll do some Preston Sturges. And we'll end with some of the more recent comedy films. Of course, my idea of recent is 40 years ago.
I'm Susie Kopp. So the class I am teaching is Art in Baltimore's Museums. It's a discussion-based class that is an introduction to the art museums throughout Baltimore. I will do some lectures, together in person, and then we'll spend some classes actually going to the museums themselves. So we'll be going to museums like the American Visionary Art Museum, the Baltimore Museum of Art, the Walters and Evergreen Museum, which is affiliated with Johns Hopkins University.
I am Lynette Partlow-Myrick, and I am so excited to teach another episode of African American literature with a particular focus this time on healing the racial divide. The literature we will make available to you. We'll have weekly handouts and that we'll discuss. That will be the topic of discussion. There are a couple of books, however, I strongly encourage you to read if you have time.
Hi, I'm Daryl Davis. This fall, I'll be teaching a very unique class for Osher called Racism, Revisionism, and Reconciliations. And I'll be talking about the tools that I've used to make this a successful story. And everybody wants these 5 tools. And I'll tell you what, I will teach you those tools. Come see me at Osher in the fall. Once again, it's called Racism, Revisionism, and Reconciliation. Hope to see you there.
Hey everyone, my name is Professor Victor Provost. I am originally from St. John in the United States Virgin Islands, and I'm super excited to be teaching a course on carnival music in Trinidad. Why is this class exciting? We're going to listen to so much amazing music from the island of Trinidad, soca music and calypso. We're going to talk about the development of the steel band. We're going to talk about how all of these unique identities in Trinidad helped to develop this music.
Hi, I'm Ron Edelstein. I will be offering a course in current events. This is different than many of the other courses offered at Osher in that this is your course. So what we're looking for is not so much my comments, we're looking for your input on topics of various interests. So what I've done is to select interest areas for each week. Of course, we'll do the latest news, but in addition, we will deal with, there'll be specific topic areas for each section.
We're working on programs right now that I think people are always deeply concerned about. One is domestic violence, which upticked during COVID. We're also dealing with new issues of hate crimes, particularly against our Asian American community that have come up. I think they've gotten a lot of national coverage. So again, one of the things that we look forward to is communicating and talking. And again, we have been in Montgomery County, I think, particularly the most progressive jurisdiction in Maryland.
Hi, I'm Dorothea Israel Wolfson,
and I'll be teaching a course this fall, Autobiographies, Reflections on Identity and the American Experience. So we're going to start with Franklin's autobiography and then extend it. And we're going to include people like Henry David Thoreau, Mark Twain, Ulysses S. Grant, W.E.B. Du Bois, Helen Keller, Maxine Hong Kingston, Mary McCarthy, Malcolm X. And we're going to do so, and it's a lot, but we're going to do it by using the Norton Anthology.
My name is Bill Lewis, and I'm the co-chair of the lecture series. But Al White is the person who has made the lecture series so special over the years. On behalf of Al White, I invite you to join us for what will be, no doubt, an excellent series of lectures that will be of interest to all. The classes are on Zoom, which enables us to hear from desired speakers not only in Washington, but also speakers who reside elsewhere. The second half of the lectures will be devoted to class discussion with the speaker, which is one of the reasons the lecture series remains so popular.
My name is Diane Sharper, and the course that I'm teaching is called the Memoir Seminar. In the first hour, I talk about maybe some article that I've read and shared with you ahead of time, and talk about it, or a memoir, and talk about it in terms of what makes that particular piece of writing good or bad, or whether you like it or don't like it, or what you like or don't like about it.
Hi, my name is Kayleen Reeser, and I'll be teaching a class for Ollie on those plucky women of World War II. The stories that I'll be telling you will be based on real women that I have interviewed, and I've even written about them in my book, Born to be Soldiers, Those Plucky Women of World War II. I'll be talking about women that I've interviewed who served in the Coast Guard, Army Nurse Corps, the WASP, which were the Women's Air Service pilots, and the Navy.
Hello, Ali at Johns Hopkins University. My name is John Haveman, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Economic Education Delegation, also known as NEED. NEED will be hosting a course for you all in the fall, beginning November 3rd on Thursdays, continuing for 6 consecutive weeks at 1 p.m. Our course will consist of 6 lectures on 6 very topical economic policy issues. I don't yet know what those topics will be because they'll be the most timely, the most of interest in the fall.
And we look forward to seeing you in person or virtually this fall.